Hello Portuguese knitters, I'm here again. I have a new video for you, and this one is about gauge swatch. If you use Portuguese style knitting, do you need a gauge swatch? Well, of course. So come with me and let's talk about it, and you're going to learn how to do this work that nobody wants to do. Okay. So again, do you think because you knit Portuguese style, you don't need a knit swatch? Yes, you do. You need one when you want the project that you're going to spend a lot of time knitting and a lot of money on the yarn and a lot of money on the gadgets. You want that project to fit the person who is going to wear that. So we're talking about sweaters, we're going to talk about vests, we're going to talk about hats. Now, if you're going to knit shawls or you're going to knit a scarf, the gauge is not crucial, so you can skip that. And I think that's why shawls and scarves are so popular right now, because people don't want to spend the time doing a gauge swatch. So I have here some examples. This is one of them, and I have more because I want to show you when you work a gauge swatch, you have to learn to be very generous, okay? Of course, you're going to use, look at this one. This is a very big gauge swatch. You are going to use the yarn that you're going to use for the project. You're going to put a border. Let me show you the little one. I think it's easier to see on the camera, but I want to see a different fabrics. I want to show you how for every project of mine, I do a gauge swatch, appropriated with the fabric I'm going to use. So here I am. When I start a swatch, I make a border of garter stitch. Okay, so I put 3 ridges on the bottom, I put 3 or 4 stitches on each side, and I finish with 3 or 4 ridges of garter stitch. And again, the reason for this is because you don't want the fabric to curl. You want to avoid that curling when you're done, so you can do a very nice measurement. You want to do, again, a big good size that you don't have to, squeeze or get a magnifying glass to count your stitches. You are going to knit this fabric, finish it up. You're going to wash this gauge swatch exactly how you're going to treat the finished garment. So if this is a hand wash yarn, you're going to hand wash. You're going to lay flat to dry. If this is a machine, something you can throw in the machine, you're going to use the machine, wash it, let it dry, and then you're going to be ready for those steps that I'm going to explain here. By the way, when I start teaching knitting, we used to make a gauge swatch and then measure 4 inches by 4 inches in width and in length, and see how many stitches you get per inch and average. I did that for many years. Like I was saying, I produced a lot of garments, and I'll tell you, not a lot of garments of those I wear today. I got tired of making sweaters and making vests, and they don't fit right. So about 2 or 3 years ago, I got a membership for Amy Herzog, and she has the custom fit. I think you guys are familiar with that. But the point is that with Amy, I found the best way to measure a gauge swatch, and that's what I want to share with you here, because I use this now on a regular basis. So once your swatch is washed, dry, and blocked, you're going to get a piece of contrasting yarn and a tapestry needle, and you are going to do what I already did here for you. I just want to show you briefly how you would pick up on a horizontal line, you would pick up the right leg of the stitch of each stitch on the border of the garter stitch. So see, I'm picking up the right leg of each stitch here on a horizontal line without deviating. You get the idea here. I got 5, I'll get one more, 6. And I'm gonna run a yarn through. So that's what I've done here all the way. Okay? Also, you're going to pick up one column of stitches here and run the yarn through every so many stitches. You can do every other, you can do every 2, and so on, without deviating from that column of stitches. And here you run the thread, and that's what I've done with the blue. Okay, so after you put the 2 pieces of yarn on each side, you're going to then count the stitches in between the lines, okay? So let's suppose I'm gonna count the ones on horizontally here. You could count the right legs of the stitches here, or you could count the stitches themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. I don't need to teach you how to count. But let's suppose you have here 30 stitches or 32 stitches, okay? Then it's much easier to measure the distance between the 2 lines. Here is exactly 6.5 inches. You can see. So I don't know how many stitches, but you get the idea. I'm not going to count. You know how to count the stitches. So let's suppose I have 32 divided by 6.5. That's going to give you 4.9 stitches to the inch. Okay. The same thing is worth it for, the same thing is applied to the 2 lines here. So you're going to count how many stitches you have in each column, and you don't want to deviate from the column. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Let's suppose I have 28, and you're going to measure the distance between the 2 pieces of navy. So I have here 4.25. You're going to get your calculator and get 4.25 inches. Actually, other way around. 28 stitches divided by 4.25 inches, and you get 6, and I would round up in this case from 6.58 to 6.6. 6.6 is stitches, rows per inch. Here you count stitches per inch, here counting rows per inch. And in this way, you would know exactly how to measure or turn on the measurements from a sweater pattern, or to measure, find your gauge to see if it's close or not. If your stitches are too small, you're going to go to a larger needle. If your stitches are too big, you're going to go to a smaller needle. But in this case, what I want to say with this demonstration is the way that she taught me to measure gauge swatches. It makes more sense and it's more accurate than just measuring 4 inches wide by 4 inches long. Okay, so this way I got my stitches per inch, I got my rows per inch, and what I do for my future reference is getting one of those tags that you get on an office supply store, and I write here so many stitches per inch, so many rows per inch. I use needle number 7, and I even put what needle number 7 I used. It was a bamboo, was a lantern moon, was signature, because I think from company to company you can also change the diameter of your needle. And so now that I have an accurate gauge swatch, I can start my project. And I did the same again with all the different yarns I work with. I measure rows and stitches per inch. So that's my explanation, how you should treat your gauge swatch, why you should make one, Portuguese style or not. That's what's important. I hope you like this video, and if you do, don't forget to click the like, subscribe for my channel, send me suggestions on what videos you would like to see, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you for watching.